So then I purchased, my wife didn't want to live in my triplex anymore, and we needed to get a bigger duplex. So maybe some people have this as well. They'll have a loved one that doesn't want to live in a 1-bedroom or 2-bedroom. It looks great on paper. It's not the quality of life for everybody. So a bit of compromise, and I was able to, I went and got a job purposely because I knew how the mortgage process works, and I needed a job to show, because as much cash flow as I was making didn't mean anything to the banks. They would rather me work at Shoppers Drug Mart and get a paycheck every 2 weeks than cash flow a lot or have a lot of money in my bank account. So I got a job with the Army. I worked in the operations center because the Army's great. I can get a contract there pretty much when needed, which was pretty much London based. We traveled here and there, but not too bad. I was able to show that job and that I had worked there part-time for 16 years with the military, with this full-time contract, show it and qualify for another mortgage. Some of the hiccups I had to do was I bought this nice duplex. I get to live in a nice place. I was saying, why live in the triplex for free when I can move to the duplex and live for free by renting out the triplex? So why hold one property and live for free when I can get two and live for free? So I was able to get this nice duplex, have a good quality of life, have one tenant, pay the bills there. Now, some of the complications with purchasing this property was the mortgage commitment. Now, normally real estate investors rejoice once we get the mortgage commitment, which is a series of steps that the lender wants you to check off in order to get approved for the mortgage. And I got told to do so many steps. I completed those steps. First time I've ever seen this, they came back and asked for another step after I completed the steps. And they said, we want to see you rented out of your unit. So unit 1 of my triplex, the one I was living in. Well, this was a dilemma, because if I rented it out and for some reason I didn't get the mortgage, and I had 10 days to do this, if I didn't get the mortgage and I quickly put somebody in within those 10 days to move in on the 11th day, which would have been a May 1st, I would have been on the street. So I joked, which was scary, but I said I'll either be cash flowing crazy at the triplex and living in Jamaica, or I'll have another house. So I somehow rented it out in 11 days. They were moving in. I got the mortgage, got the duplex. I moved all my stuff on like the longest day from the triplex over to the duplex on the same day, May 1st, the day that every student is moving in the entire freaking city. I decided to pick this day for my closing date and try getting U-Hauls, garbage piles on the street like apocalypse. Insane. Moved over, more headaches. There's no smooth transaction. There's always something. You get to the next property and the tenant, and this happened a few days prior, but we were told, good news, Jeff, the tenant's leaving, from my realtor. And I said, how is this good news? Well, you wanted to move into unit 1 of your duplex. Yeah, well, not day one, eventually when that person left. So now she's vacating the property, and unfortunately nobody plays by the rules sometimes, and she was leaving in 15 days. So I moved all my stuff to unit 2. I staged it. I started hustling to get it rented. Eventually got that rented and moved down to unit 1, and there we go. So the real estate hustle was in full effect while having my other property fully operating. No property manager. Help from just a few key players out there in the city. So that day I had technically 7 units, 7 doors. I'm married now, so we'll look at what we're gonna do next. There's these beautiful millstone homes that my brokerage gets to list, and I joke that the builder should build me a nice duplex or a triplex with all the high-end finishes, so that my wife can be happy, and then we can still have a nice granny suite or something where somebody's helping to pay that ridiculous mortgage. So and going forward in the future, we'll be looking to get some smaller rental properties in the city that cash flow well. Cash flow is king, so make sure you're always looking for that. Don't buy on your emotion. I think we'll talk a little bit about how I got what you should do as a new investor and how to start. Do you need a team? Do you need to read a lot of books? I feel there's a lot of people that read a lot of books, and that's great. And there's a few quotes like ready, shoot, aim. Like, stop aiming forever. Like, you do need to take a shot and then fix the mistake later. You're never gonna get that perfect shot. There's never gonna be the perfect duplex to move into, the perfect triplex. There's gonna be this tenant that says, "Oh, I know, I've never paid this rent," and you're like, "What the heck?" Like, the first year it could be a bit of a disaster every time. More experienced investors will get better at that, and it's gonna come down to your team. And that maybe it doesn't mean you have a lot of the real estate investors in your team, but just everybody else that's helping you out, your contractors, your lawyers, your family, that kind of stuff. But I will say, get a team, go to our meetups, start talking to us more, ask us questions. We feel like we're coaching all day long, and that's fine, because we don't want to see you make any mistakes that we've potentially made. And I can tell you all the horror stories. I just had clients sell their beautiful house in St. Thomas, move into a fourplex. They are grinding it out on Kijiji. This is a life-changing thing for them. They're living in one of the units. They're grinding it out on Kijiji, getting renters coming in. They're doing applications. In between every question that the potential tenant has, she's texting me asking, "What do I do?" And now, after a couple weeks, the questions are few and far between, because she's becoming more experienced as a landlord, and Matt and I are here to help. So fire your questions away at all times. And I'm happy to say that they got their first tenant moving in today, or maybe it was yesterday. They got a gift basket for this tenant. They've gone the extra 10%, things that we've been preaching, which is just cleaning supplies, which is a great thing to give your tenant. But it's just some toilet paper, some paper towels, like little toothbrush, everything a tenant wouldn't think about when they first move in. And they are brand new landlords, but they have gone above and beyond probably 95% of the city day one, because of the team around them, which even gave them the confidence, I would think, to even purchase something like that, when all their friends and family were saying, "Don't move into a fourplex, you have a beautiful home." And even seeing some of the comments on one of their Facebooks when they wrote, "Hey, we got a fourplex, blah blah blah," and somebody says, "Oh yeah, I heard you're becoming slumlords now," and then I sarcastically wrote underneath, "Yeah, they're gonna have a tough time living for free. I hope they can do it." And that you're gonna get a lot of outside factor, a lot of people pushing on you, like, "Why are you doing this?" and just go to work or do this, and you don't need this. Well, we'll all be laughing soon, and we're here to help on the journey. So get that team. It's a team sport. Okay guys, so Jeff Wybo, I'm on YouTube a bit, some of my properties, but follow me on Instagram at Jeff Wybo, and you'll see me on Facebook. January 29th is our 4th limo investment property tour. We might need 2 limos this time, but if you're interested, come on out. It's a fun day. Everybody gets to talk, go over some of the problems. You got experienced veteran landlords going out with you. So if you're brand new, it's perfect, and if you're experienced, we all pick up new knowledge every single time, and we're all seeing either multifamily or good single family homes that you can use for rentals, and the experience is amazing. And the look on the neighborhood when we're showing up in a limo, look on everybody's faces when they say, "Who are these people?" and you're walking out with your binder about the property. It's your first step to being a sophisticated investor. And well, we'd like to see you guys on our journey, so come on out and make sure to keep following us. So, and hit Matt's subscribe button so you can beat Matt P.